Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, I want to show you something really fun that I have been working on and have been testing for a little while, and that is a team that is able to beat the Heretical ruins on stage 7, which means that we're going to be able to start farming legendary materials in order to forge legendary positive runes. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, the most important dungeons in this game are number 1, the Grave of Venom, and then number 2 is going to be the Heretical ruins, then number 3, Ancient Battlefield. So for today, I want to show you the team that I came up with, and it did require a little bit of testing. It's not easy by any means. It's going to require some decent gear overall, but well, I mostly have at least 2, 3 free to obtain champions, and that is Hexandra, first of all, which everybody gets at the beginning of the game. Then I have the Adventurer as Frost. Then I have Anna, which I recommended for lots of you to actually grab from the chest if you could. And then I do have another rare in there, which is Sigrid. Sigrid is one of those really nice ones that she's kind of like a jack of all trades. You can do a little bit of everything on most areas of the game. But, most of these ones are not necessarily mandatory, or at least the DPS people, so to speak. So Sigrid and the other one that I have over here is Yola. They are not mandatory. However, you're going to try and find your best possible team that it works for you. The whole principle for this one and the team that I'm using is basically to have one healer in Hexandra, which is actually my tank as well for this team, because well, for this fight, you don't really need a tank per se, unless the tank brings you something else. So, for example, if you would have a Fruit Bath, you would use Fruit Bath in here because he would also bring you some decreased attack, which obviously helps so you don't get one-shot by the boss. If you had somebody like a Garius, again, he would be amazing because he would bring a full board heal, which means you might not need Hexandra in here, and you can bring another DPS champion. Then, if you have somebody like Isolde, same principle, she brings decreased attack, shielding, you kind of get the idea. The tank is not needed if you don't have I didn't want to bring Fruit Bath in here, okay? I didn't want to bring Fruit Bath or Isolde or any of the top tier heroes, and Horus did not bring me too much to this team, and honestly it was hard to do enough because I did not do enough DPS for this team. So my team kind of relies around using Sigrid as one of my DPS, but she also brings me the decreased attack, and in order to take advantage at maximum potential of Sigrid's kit, you kind of need some people that bring you some AoE debuffs, some debuffs that can land on the boss, because well, the boss puts that invisibility on him, and that can be an issue. If you have somebody like a Voresh, well, that can be easier because Voresh, again, he brings damage, he brings healing, and he brings buff prohibition, which means you either stop the boss from putting that invisibility on, or you would just you can remove it as well from his battle skill. So there's obviously going to be plenty of other options. So that's why, I brought, for example, Yola, which again, Yola is not mandatory in this team. It can be Dane, it can be anybody else that does some AoE debuffs, like you see Yola, that basically doesn't matter what the debuffs are. You just want to have them there so you can take, like I said, take advantage of Sigrid's kit at its fullest. Sigrid is so amazing for this one as well, because not only does she bring, she brings the decreased attack on her ultimate, but she also brings heal prohibition. And heal prohibition is amazing because if you do not manage to kill the minions, like you see I did not manage to do it over here, well, having heal prohibition will stop the minions from healing the boss, and that is massive. Obviously, there's other heroes that do that. They bring some DPS and heal prohibition, like Dane is a good example, as maybe Dane would have been a little bit nicer instead of Yola in this situation, because, well, if I would have Dane, then I would have a 3 affinity bonus, which I do not have in this team. Everybody's, I have 1 ice, I have 2 lightning, and then I have 2 poison. So it is not the perfect team by any means, but I wanted to show you that it does not have to be perfect. Just knowing the right kit and using that kit is really important. I also brought in here Anna, which it seems like I didn't perfectly time her again. I need to change some stuff, but one thing that really helped me be able to get this at the point where it's almost perfect, almost done. He might die over here because I didn't do the perfect timing for Anna. But what helped me a lot in this team is using the presets, okay? You can have the team presets, and then you can have those the heroes do their skills at the right time and whatnot. Well, that helped me a ton because I could time it and I could, you know, I could keep testing it up until I timed it perfectly so that everybody does their skills exactly when you want them to. And in this case, for example, Anna, you want Anna to always do the cleanse after the boss does their ultimate. So as you can see, it takes 4 minutes. Doesn't really matter how long it takes. Use consumables if you have to. Just try to think again. Think about the principle that I said and use the kits that I said in here. So as an example, let me show you what I actually did when it comes to presets. So you would have the team over here, you would save it over there, and then you go to edit skill timing. First thing, let's talk about Yola and Sigrid. Well, the first thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to keep Yola from doing her ultimate up until the boss spawns both the minions. After they are spawned, Yola can do the ultimate and then everything else is gonna work, you know, just fine. But after she does that, I also timed Sigrid to go after Yola because I want Sigrid's ultimate to be AoE, okay? If there's no debuffs out there, she's not gonna do her AoE hit. She's only gonna do a single target, but if there's other ones, it says here damage to an enemy and all enemies inflicted with debuffs, okay? So she's gonna do that AoE damage. She can smack, bring heal prohibition, bring attack penalty too, so she's just amazing for this team. And honestly, for the same reason, I actually gave my adventurer accuracy, so he can land the decreased speed, which makes it be another debuff that gives the chance for Sigrid to make her AoE hit, hit the boss specifically. You want to hit that boss as often as possible. Then when it comes to Anna, I noticed that I think this is the right key, 24.5. You want her to delay her to first skill timing to be 25 seconds so that the boss does the ultimate and puts burns on everybody else. Then she's gonna do her ultimate and she's gonna do that cleanse over there. Obviously you don't have to use Anna. If you have somebody better, you're gonna use somebody better, like a V-Cook, Nathaniel, whoever else brings you debuff cleansing, you know? Like I really like Anna because, well, she does it full board. You don't have to have them paired together. But if you have somebody that does it in a small area, if you pair them together, that's still gonna work because the burns are really powerful if they actually tick. If they fall on you and then you cleanse them, it's not a problem. But if they actually do a tick of damage, well, that's gonna, they can do like adjacent damage as well, like they explode and do damage for people around, so keep that in mind. So after that, I put her skill casting interval to be, I think I tried 24, it was not good enough because she was doing too early. 24.5 or 25 is the right timing, depending obviously on how much skill haste you have on her. So play around with that and make sure, like I mentioned, that you always do the cleanse after the boss does their ultimate. You also see that I may put them in this position, so if a burn takes, there's not anybody adjacent, so they don't take extra damage, but the team at the end of the day does not have that problem. When it comes to the aura, I just used Yola's attack aura because that's the best I have in this case. But if you need to take advantage of more accuracy because you don't have enough, because you need around 170 to make sure you land debuffs, then use the accuracy one from Sigrid, or if you need more enlightenment, use the enlightenment one from Hexandra, whichever you need. Again, you see I'm not taking advantage of this, there's no NFL bonus. Now let me show you the builds, and like I said, they're not going to be easy builds. This is something considering that you have been farming the Grave of Venom for quite a while, okay? This is what it's going to take into consideration because the Grave of Venom is the easiest one to farm, and yeah, after you start getting legendary gear from there, it makes it easier for this. So first thing, the adventurer as Frost, I gave him the basic Elven Quiver. I would have preferred to use the Manticore statue, but I tried to keep it as relatable, at least with the artifacts, as possible. So this one's the best artifact for the adventurer as Ice, as Frost, but you know, I just kept the Quiver and it is what it is. Then I gave him attack percent chest, attack percent glove, and then I tried to get accuracy as well, like I mentioned in some subsets. You see they are not perfect, like flat attacks, accuracies, but I tried to give him the accuracy. I even gave him, I think this one, I even gave him an accuracy negative rune, which, you know, you should be able to farm stage 4 or 5 of the ancient battlefield if you're trying to push for legendary of the positive one. So I even give him accuracy with more attack percent because the more attack you have on him, the better, as his shields scale off of attack, okay? His shield scales off of attack, so you're gonna have bigger shields and you're gonna do more damage the more attack you have. Then the next one in here is gonna be Yola, which I said, Yola can be anybody else that does an AoE hit, that also places some debuffs. I have her with the crown because, you know what, if you're gonna have epic artifacts, the first one you will have is the crown. It's not perfect. I would have preferred to use, you know, Witch's Remains, but it's not relatable, so I just use this one. And this one has a chance to land a defense penalty, but it only lands on one target. So It's not ideal, but it can help in case you land it on the boss to kill it faster. Then I have attack percent on her, I have a crit rate glove, and then I tried to give her a combination of this set of the Wrath of Trolls that gives her some more skill haste and attack percent. Didn't complete the set because, well, I just did not want to. I want to have it broken. So again, it's not my ideal perfect sets. Okay, like for example, I have defense percent here, doesn't really help me. Attack percent, okay, can help some damage and accuracy. I do have an attack positive rune on her that has some HP, skill, haste, and accuracy, and then I do have an accuracy negative rune because again you want to have around 170 accuracy, so that's Yola. Then the next one is going to be Sigrid, which everybody in this team, I think apart from Anna, is 5-star. They're not level 100 though, they're just 5-star, and it is what it is. Maybe you'd have your adventure at 100 by the time you're trying to do this, because you know it's gonna give him more stats, but if not, it is what it is. I put on Sigrid. This one doesn't really matter, like any art, it helps her come back to her ultimate, but it does not fall perfectly in sync with Yola skills. So basically I just use this one to get some more accuracy. Okay, I needed more accuracy on her to get to the 170 so she can land her debuffs. And then I have attack percent chest. I do have a crit damage glove with some crit rate, and then I tried to give as much crit rate and crit damage with some accuracy as I could because, well, she's gonna be one of the DPS as well. She has an attack positive rune, and then she has an accuracy negative rune. Same principle, you know, land your debuffs and do all the right stuff. Hexandra, she's actually built in a pretty quirky way, but this build on her is gonna work on this boss, and it's also gonna work on Ancient Battlefield, as she will have the high resist. I could even swap this to make her more tankier into like an HP percent or a defense percent chest, but I wanted to keep this one because, well, this is what I had rolled. It's really expensive to roll more gear. So she has a resistance chest, HP percent glove, then again some stuff with resistance. Like, look at this substats. They're not only, I guess only Enlightenment helps me in this fight, and that's about it. And then this one didn't even max, it just has some HP, crit rate, and more resistance with Enlightenment on this rune, and then HP on this one. This one you can swap to resistance if you need more, but I just kept HP as she's kind of my tank, so I needed to keep her survivable. If you see that you don't survive enough, just swap this chest, like I said, for an HP percent, defense percent one, and you should be good. Then who's next? Let me see. I think the last one is going to be Anna. I just threw the Troll's Heart on her to have some defense and resist. Doesn't help her resist the debuffs, just some extra stats. I even have, like, I kept an epic set on her, a level 12 helmet. That's, you know, not the best, but it is what it is. Just wanted to complete a little bit of skill haste. So you can see that with this skill haste, it kind of helps her at least for the battle skill, but when it comes to the ultimate, having skill haste does not help you if you do the preset as I showed you, because the skill haste reduces the cooldown of your battle skill and ultimate skill by a certain percentage. Like for example, if I click over here on Anna, it's reduced by, let me see, 9%, okay? But I have her timed so she does it later. So that means the skill haste does not benefit her. So you don't really need to complete these sets. I just completed on her because that's what I had rolled. And I just gave her survivability stats because, well, even crit rate glove, it's whatever, doesn't really matter. Make sure she's a little bit tanky, and then to have her do the cleansing in there, because that's all she's there to do, and that's about it. So nothing too special. Even this one is just a defense with more skill haste, which again does not help. So yeah, this was the team. I hope, you know, I hope this is helpful. I hope this gives you an idea. Like I said again, I try to keep it as relatable when it comes to the heroes and artifacts. Some of the gear is, like I said, yeah, it's gonna be legendary gear, but by the time you start pushing for legendary gear for the Heretical Ruins, which is a lot harder to do, you should be having a ton of the legendary gear from the Grave of Venom. As you can see, like I showed you, it's only like, okay, this crit rate glove does not have to be the glove from the Grave of Wrath, okay? This one can be any other set. It's not even completed. If you have any other one of these ones that gives you some crit rate, use that because you want Yola to do a little bit more damage. But apart from that, you saw that every single person that I have in the team just has gear from the Grave of Venom because, like I said, I try to keep it as relatable as possible. But anyway, I guess this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. I hope this helps you, and you know, this is something that you definitely want to keep in mind and try getting to by the time this happens, okay? Because in 5 days and 11 hours, at least for me at the time of the recording, the legendary forge material drop rate is increased. Not only that, but the drop rate of legendary gear, or at least that's how it was during the beta. So what this means is you're gonna want to get to farm legendary gear. Don't farm any other dungeons if you cannot get to legendary gear. So don't farm any of the gear dungeons if you cannot get legendary ones by the time you get here. Just keep pushing that Venom, just keep getting more and more from Venom, and then start progressing towards Heretical Ruins, then Ancient Battlefield, and then whichever ones is gonna help. I'm gonna try and have a look at an Ancient Battlefield team as well, but that one's a little bit harder, so I might need to bring some different epics, some stronger epics to do it, but obviously keep an eye on the channel for when I do that. Anyway, this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.